Time and time again, I am over the moon for OVERMARS.
You don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. I won't wait for you, 'cause you keep telling lies. I keep going high, she keeps going low. At the end of the day, she's gone. But you don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. And you keep telling lies.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Outcasts 2 Icons. If you've been enjoying the save, drop a like. That would be fantastic, and I very much appreciate it. Today, starting on the page of Przemysław Niewiadomski, our 18-year-old Polish defensive midfielder, who, I don't know, he's slowly been developing, of course, over the past year. Still only 18, though, but 13 caps for Poland by the age of 18 is actually kind of mad. Hopefully he continues to develop in the way that he is. I'm enjoying his work for us so far, particularly the amount that we paid for him, really. Still got 4 years left on his deal. Obviously gave him a new one last year. I think this guy has one of the brightest futures imaginable. Nice to see him score his first goal for us as well in the last video. It's just nice to see those slow little development moves in the right direction, because I do feel eventually he will be able to take over the mantle from Dinko Pavlich, because there's going to come a time when he's just going to be playing better and doing his thing better, because he does do some stuff already a little bit better, but he's going to get tons of game time this season as well, and I'm always happy to have him in the team. Sadly though, a player who has been out of the team briefly in the last one is OVERMARS, sadly. He picked up a concussion in training and unfortunately missed the last league game, which is a bit disappointing. He is in theory going to be back for today's game, hopefully. Maybe he'll have to wear a special hat or something. Now, we had a couple of games off camera. I'm actually going to show you those before the Red Star game today, just to mix things up a little bit before we get into stuff against Red Star. Two very, very important matches that I think are both absolutely must win, and we cannot surely play as poorly as we did against Benfica. It's just surely not possible. First up, we were away against Atalanta, a team we usually do quite well against, and we were determined to put things right. OVERMARS with a lovely little touch here, delivers a lovely little shot into the bottom corner for 1-0 after just literally 1 minute of the game. It was basically 2 minutes, but still. Then we won a penalty not long after that, which Castells delivered beautifully for 2-0, and we're so good at getting those early goals in these matches, and it makes a huge difference. But then a mistake here from Believ. Tarquini puts the ball up brilliantly. Initially, the save from Speecher is decent, but unfortunately comes into the path of Moresi, and Atalanta were back in the game. Gave themselves a little bit of a chance on there, unfortunately. But then, 37 minutes on the clock, Gregory drops it round nicely. Castells with a lovely ball over the top for OVERMARS, and you know what he does in these positions. Hammers it home for 3-1 on 38 minutes. But then things, once again, took a bit of a weird turn. 40 minutes on the clock. They were finding a bit of space in this central midfield area, and a lovely ball hit through here from Moresi to Senior. Hammers it home. Nothing really Speecher could do about that. 3-2 at half-time. Starting to get a bit concerned, was I, at that point, but I needn't have been. 65 minutes, Lancer picks it up, drops it round for OVERMARS, and he just slots it home. That's what he does. Hat-trick again for OVERMARS after that point. So they're suddenly 4-2. Things look a bit better. Then in the 70th minute, Candido picking the ball up, goes to the edge of the box for Granados, who then drops it to Quarto. His shot deflects, but goes in the back of the net anyway. His first goal for well over a year. So that was nice to see, and it was 5-2. And then 77 minutes, Candido's ball in. I think it was Uriarte's header made it 6-2. Another 6 goals scored by us. Another hat-trick for OVERMARS. Pretty confident in this one. Atalanta actually played pretty well and definitely were good value for the goals that they did score in this match, but we were just that little bit better. But then we got an almighty kick in the nuts. In the 92nd minute at home against Fiorentina, Schiavi coming through here. I mean, he couldn't have put that more perfectly. 1-0. Worst thing about this one as well is that we were pretty much dominating, doing a good job, just couldn't quite find a way through them. We were then given a dodgy penalty against us in like the 77th minute or somewhere around here, which is what this chance is, which Speecher then saved as well. It was exactly identical to the Castells one, except further outside the box, and it was given. So I just don't know what's going on with referees at this point, but I thought we'd got away with it there, and then Elio Schiavi had other ideas, and we went to a 1-0 defeat at home to Fiorentina. Very, very poor, that one. Fino actually played reasonably well in this game, and they had barely any chances other than the penalty and their goal, but that's all they take sometimes. I don't think there's really a lot Speecher could do. What I'm looking for out of a goalkeeper, really, isn't that he's going to save everything. Occasionally pulling off great saves is obviously a plus. What I'm looking for is for him to save the things that he should be saving and not making silly mistakes, and so far, that's what he's done for us. Like, he saved a penalty as well, which is outrageous, but I don't think there's a lot you can do about most of these goals we're conceding lately. So league-wise, that actually puts us, well, the gap is slightly closer now. Only 1 point clear of Juventus at this point. OVERMARS, of course, top scorer with 9 in 8, but Batis is up there as well. Castells with his 5 assists, but it's still disappointing, really, to lose that one at home to Fiorentina in such fashion. Hopefully today, though, we can respond in the same way that we responded against Atalanta and go out here and absolutely hammer Red Star. That's my plan. But they're Red Star. They'll have some solid players. The City and Benfica games are going to be really, really crucial. I think the best case scenario for us, really, is that we do our job and get the 6 points off of Red Star and hope that Manchester City also takes 6 points off of Benfica, just to make our chances of qualifying looking a little bit more safe at that point, given the home game to come against Benfica. So, Obviously, Janderson played up front in the last game, which was not ideal. I think that might be part of the problem. He had a very poor game. It's undeniable. He just wasn't very good. But we can shuffle things around again. Di Giacomo can come back in again. Rotate, rotate, rotate. It's what we're doing, and it works. Komi Eklu will be on the bench for this one. I would have probably started him if he was properly fit, but he just isn't ready for more than about 45 minutes at the moment. Because this is the kind of game where we could do with a player like Eklu, that added creativity in the midfield. I mean, they have a 26-year-old Vietnamese international playing right side for them, who came through at Brno. That is one of those stranger transfers, like left-footed as well. Interesting. 56 goals for Vietnam as well. I think we need to treat fixtures like this, a bit like we've been treating fixtures against the sort of mid-table Serie A clubs this season, where we just go out there and are just dominantly good. And I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be able to do that today, but then, I don't know, the Champions League do be throwing up weird results from time to time. Hopefully we can put that Benfica game behind us and come out here with a pair of smashing wins. That's the plan. I want your 3s and 4s if we can. Or at the very least, if we don't score the 3s and 4s, play a team creatively that looks like it's going to score 3 or 4 goals, even if we don't actually manage to get the pure numbers on the night, just playing well enough. That's what I want to see, because we just didn't look creative against Benfica at all. Like, disgustingly bad from us, really. Lanza, we off to an early start potentially here. We're keeping the ball very heavily in the opening. I don't think they've actually touched it yet. We're just knocking it about very patiently. Round the side for Lanza! Oh, we nearly scored without Red Star even having a touch of the ball. This is more like it. This is the kind of build-up of football I've been seeing from us in those really good performances, as Uriarte's header is on target as well. I mean, we literally managed 2 shots on target without them even touching the ball, other than to save it. So that's a good sign. Hopefully we can continue that today. This is where OVERMARS and him potentially banging a hat-trick is certainly on the cards. He's already got 3 this season, which is kind of crazy. Lanza, all the way through it. Castells his header over the bar. City take the lead through none other than, of course, Jan Fischer. He was definitely the best player they had against us. We've sort of faded a little bit. We've had that really quick out the traps, could have had a goal early, and the last sort of 10-15 minutes has just gone a bit silent for the moment. And, well, passing like that is probably part of the reason why, because we don't need to go chasing a goal. We can be a bit more patient after that. Milivojevic goes past one challenge. He could pull this back, maybe. Okay, when I say pull back, that wasn't quite what I meant, but sure. He listened, I guess. Pavlish, ooh, okay. Just don't get dispossessed with some silliness here. Believ bringing it forward. Milivojevic. Oh, around the side for Pierre-Angelo Lanza! And he slots it in the... There we go. That's what we needed. 24 minutes on the clock. 8th goal of the season for Pierre-Angelo Lanza. Lovely assist from Dan Mihilche. It just took us a little while, winding it up, keeping that possession, doing a good job in this game. I was worried that Believ was going to lose it here, but him driving into the midfield probably made a difference there, as Milivojevic was just able to slot this around the side. But it's a lovely little ball. Lanza's patience here is what we needed. And hey, 8th goal of the season for him. He got 12 on the whole of last year, albeit with injuries, but still. Lanza. OVERMARS. Need to get him on the ball a bit more. It's just been a real difficult battle for him today. Castells. Oh, so it's through for Lanza again! And it's a good save again. If anything, OVERMARS is almost acting like a decoy for us for the moment, as Lanza's header again. Di Giacomo to Troy Gregory. Back for Pavlish. Oh, he could have had a go at goal potentially there. Di Giacomo. Okay, it's got to be careful here. Oh, nicely done. Di Giacomo's ball in. Gregory! And it's OVERMARS on the end of it, and it is 2-0 now here in Serbia. 13th goal of the season for Timon OVERMARS. He's got more goals than games played for us currently this year, which is actually kind of scary. I said I thought he could get 30, potentially 35 this year. If he carries on like this, he absolutely will do. They worked it out really well there. First time ball in from Di Giacomo. Lovely little flick down header from Gregory. And OVERMARS puts us 2 goals to the good, and we can just relax a little bit. Overlaps again for Days. Mihilche around the side for Castells, who's made a little deeper run. Whips it all the way through. Oh, I'd say that's a fairly deserved lead. 2-0 up at half-time, pretty much cruising. And this is exactly what we needed to see. Now, obviously, Red Star are not as good as Benfica, by any means. But it's nice to see us be more creative in today's game, be patient. Allowing them no shots on target in this game has probably helped too. Speech has had nothing to do so far, but I'm hoping that if he does get called upon at some point, which could happen now, potentially, no, we're fine, then he will be able to bail us out, should we need him. The desire to get out there. Castells. Lanza. Could just go for goal. Milivojevic again. Scoops it back post. Gregory's header is over the bar. Wow, I'm surprised he won that. 3-1 to City now, so Benfica are looking pretty much buried in that game as OVERMARS with a great first touch, and it's a relatively tame shot. Granados. Nice to see him getting a bit of football. I thought I'd get him on for Steph Castells just because reasons. Di Giacomo now. Edge of the box for Granados. It's a poor effort. 4-1 to Manchester City now against Benfica. So that definitely proves that we should have done better against Benfica, you feel like. We were capable of to thump Manchester City 5-2, but then lost to Benfica. That was definitely just hopefully it was just an anomalous performance that we won't see from anything else. We can go smash them in the home game. That's my hope anyway. And better our head-to-head against them just in case of anything like that. Siggy Jonsson. here we go. It's looking like it's going to be Red Star 0, Sassuolo 2. That's pretty much exactly what I wanted from us. Just comfortable performance. Didn't need to overdo it, I suppose. Maybe a third goal would have been nice, but to win 2-0, look basically unfazed defensively today, which is very nice news. And to get a couple of goals for ourselves as well. The usual suspects, really, with Lancer and Overmars scoring 4-1 to Manchester City. We already knew that, though. And yeah, 2-0 to Sassuolo. Fairly comfortable. Pretty much exactly. Oh, they did have a shot on target towards the end. Speecher didn't really have to do anything. That's fine. We go back to the top of the group. Hopefully another win for Manchester City away from home could see us potentially go 5 clear of Benfica with 2 matches to spare, one of them being against them at home, obviously. So that's good news. Right, back in a sec. Probably for the second game against Red Star. The good times just keep rolling, really. Away at Udinese, 19 minutes on the clock. Giacomo gets the ball out on this left-hand side. Cassels with a lovely little daisy cutter into the bottom corner for 1-0 on 19 minutes. Then, just before half-time, we were able to grab ourselves another one. So just lovely build-up in the midfield once more. Lancer gets the ball, pops it through for Troy Gregory at the back post, and he made it 2-0 to Sassuolo before half-time. Lovely old job. In the second half, we had one more little bite of the cherry for it in the 67th minute. Overmars doing some nice work down this left-hand side. Pulls it across. Giacomo's ball in. Lancer's header. 3-0 Sassuolo. I think 3-0 is actually pretty harsh on Udinese in this game. They had a couple of good chances, which Spicer was able to save really well, but also I think that we just didn't really create that much, and we're just incredibly clinical for once. And then, well, we managed to combine both of those things, but not before falling behind in the 4th minute of the game. Great ball through, easy finish for Capello, and it was 1-0 to Crotone after 3 minutes. But then, 26 minutes, Cassell's beautiful free kick. I mean, those 18 free kicks really coming into play for him there. And then on the 45 minute, he put the ball in, comes to the edge of the box for Uriarte, comes back to him, knocks it around the side for Lancer, and we put ourselves right on the stroke of half-time, 2-1 up with Cassels being heavily involved. And then bang after half-time, things started to just get away from Crotone just a tiny little bit. Nice work on the edge. Cassels' ball through, Overmars on the end of it, 3-1, and just started to cruise really at that point, which is exactly what we do. But then it got worse for them, unfortunately. 62nd minute on the clock, Lancer puts the ball across to Overmars. It's just a relatively weak shot that the goalkeeper just doesn't seem to do anything about, and it was 4-1, and the goals just kept on coming at the moment. We then won a penalty. Overmars completed his hat-trick from the spot to make it 5-1, and we still had one more in it as well. 79th minute, ball to the edge here. Granados gets the ball. Candido, Overmars' shot is blocked, comes back to Granados, and it was 6-1. I mean, just complete domination. It's actually nuts. Overmars' goal scoring right now, and just everybody's contributions to these games is actually nuts. As I said before, time and time again, I am over the moon for Overmars. And lastly, we had what I expected to be a much tougher game at home against Brescia. This brilliant header from Bellier gave us the lead after just 3 minutes, and I really needn't have worried. As we love scoring on the 12th minute. Once again, in the 12th minute, Lancer getting the ball on the right, dropping it through, Komi Eklu on the end of it, and it was 2-0 away at Brescia. Without Augusto Rivas, they really have struggled a little bit there. And then before half-time, we just keep on going. Added one more. Gregory's shot is actually blocked, pulls it back again though. Who would be that? Overmars to scoop it home for his, I think, 17th goal of the season, and it was 3-0 to us. But then, as the second half begun, Lancer should have done a bit better with this one, to be honest. And great ball through, Miladinovic on the end of it, and nothing Spicer could do much about that one, and it was 3-1. And okay, I thought, well, maybe they're going to get a chance to come back in. No, they didn't. 65th minute, Lancer gets the ball on the right-hand side here. Just some nice little patience from him to pull this one back across, and Cassels hammers it into the top corner for 4-1 to Sassuolo. But still, they were able to score yet another goal. Brescia looked pretty solid going forward in this one. They just couldn't get it going defensively. Lovely little ball across. Nothing they could do. Lima, 4-2. But yet again, just complete dominance from start to finish. We are still conceding a few goals in these games now, but when you score 4, it takes a lot to win. Still, though, only 1 point clear at the top of the league. It's the fact that we have a plus 33 goal difference after 11 games, and we scored 41 goals in the league this season in just 11 matches. We're averaging nearly 4 goals a game going forward at the moment, and obviously that cannot continue for the whole year. Honestly, I thought that 6-0 trashing of Frosinone on the opening day of the season was just kind of like one of those blippy games where everything just kind of goes right for you. But I think that's like I think 3 or maybe even 4 times this season we've managed to hit 6 in a game, and we've hit several 4s as well. Overmars has 13 goals in 11 games this season. Cassels has got 7 assists to his name as well. Speecher's doing a fantastic job, joint top clean sheets as well. As always, we can do a little bit of a cheeky switcheroo. That's no problem. Giacomo can come back in here. I will be starting Komi Eklu for today's game though, because I want that slightly added creativity. But look at this: 10 for Lancer, 17 for Overmars. Steph Cassels as well is 7 of his own. Troy Gregory may only have 3 goals himself, but he's also got like 7 assists already this season, so he's definitely contributing a lot more from a creative standpoint than he was last year. And I guess it's just that with so many goals going in elsewhere, it's almost hard for him to get the chances at the moment. It's kind of mad. I think Rivas will be our final substitute bench member, but we just have to go out there and do it again. We've proven that we can. We're decently well rested most of the time. Let's go do one more. Just isolating the league for a second, I genuinely don't think I've ever managed a team on FM that's been quite so prolific, just out of nowhere. Like last year we had there was definitely an element that we were good for going forward last year, but this year we just look on a completely different like dimension. And that's great and all, but what we do in the Champions League just matters that little bit more. But it is nice to see that we are scoring so damn many goals in the league at the moment. The fact that OVERMARS already has 17 goals this season. Pavlich, just sort yourselves out. We can go again. It's been a bit of a subdued opening 17 minutes for us, honestly. Lancer, around the sofa, over him. Oh, nice idea, though. City have taken the lead, which is good, but we've looked a little bit off the pace in the opening sort of half an hour here. We've been fine defensively. Nothing really coming forward here from Red Star, but we've not shown a lot ourselves just yet. Giacomo, oh, well, I mean, who cares when you can pull one of those out? It's a Swallow 1, Red Star 0. Time at OVERMARS, 18th goal of the season. I think that's his 5th in the Champions League as well. He is just on a different level currently. Giacomo netting yet another assist. I think that might be his 5th or 6th of the year already. What a ball. OVERMARS, it's a great finish, and we have the lead, and that's very, very important. Giacomo on the overlap again. Can he provide yet another? Oh, nice little sensible stuff. Whoops it across into Komi Eklu. Oh, it just fell behind Lancer. He could, if he was just slightly differently positioned, would have on the end of that for an easy goal. Finds OVERMARS. I mean, oh, look at that. Lovely little ball inside for Lancer. Oh, great tackle. That was a certain goal otherwise, I think. Half time, we've been decent, but nothing special really in the first half, to be honest. But nevertheless, we are in a good position. A lot of first half bookings for us, interestingly, 4 of which, in fact, almost our entire midfielders decided to go get a booking. So that might be an area to look for some substitutes in the second period. And despite Southampton being in somewhat of a group of death, you might say, they're actually doing all right. Currently top of it on 8 points, tied with Juve. So that's not bad from them, really. Cassels, Lancer, oh, good stuff. Deny him any opportunity to cross this ball in. That's the key, and we've done exactly oh dear. Well, we sort of did. Cassels now can bring it away for us. Bit of space for him now, but OVERMARS has peeled really wide for some reason. And, well, I guess he's got the ball. He's good to try and get himself in the box now. We've got loads of runners. Oh, go on, Dinko. Smash it. Oh, they've managed to work through the press quite nicely. And Horvat's done Mihilchea here. Hopefully he can get back and put a tackle in before they're able to get a cross in. Into the box. Don't let them get that ball into the box. That's the key thing. It's just to avoid the cross. Oh my God. That was very lucky. That was just luck there. Good block put in there at one point as well, I think. But Christ, that could have easily rolled over the line there off of that clearance. We don't want any Champions League shenanigans happening. Obviously, if I have to, I will shut this down later. Granados. OVERMARS. We need an overlapping run. OVERMARS has gone for himself. We've kind of just moved to shut this game off now. To make sure that we get out of here with the result. Because you just never want to take any risks at this point. So just see out the match. Defend, time waste. Just get this over the line now. Good tackle. Oh, surely not. Oh. Oh, what the I don't understand what's happened. Is it the deflection? Why does he dive the other way? I just don't even... I just literally, at that point, switched it so that we were just trying to kill it, and then that just inexplicable. Like, obviously, it's the keeper's fault, but I'm just wondering what the hell was happening with the animation there. Like, why does that even happen? He dives the incorrect way. I guess he was wrong-footed by the deflection, but that... I just don't know. It's the only shot on target, but then that's not really a huge... I just don't know. That's his first major mistake in a Sassuolo shirt, but like for crying out loud. I'm not entirely sure what tactical switch you can make for that. That's just very, very, very unfortunate. Champions League do be very good at throwing up things like this for us, doesn't it? For whatever reason. Admittedly, it's not like we were unlucky against Benfica in that game. We were just bad. Today, we were fairly solid, and I just cannot believe that that has happened. But there we go. So we go into these next 2 matches with points to prove, really. We have got to be better than that. It's crazy how the disparity is with how good we are, but then, I don't know. Maybe it'll be like last year where we had some shittiness in the groups and then things really stepped up for us once we got into the knockouts. But we still got to get into the knockouts. So there's that on the line too. I think getting into the knockouts is fairly straightforward, but winning the group now, that point... or that dropped points there could well cost us. So, if you've enjoyed this episode, in spite of whatever the hell that was at the end, drop a like, that would be lovely. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Stream on Twitch, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. I'll see you guys tomorrow as we, well, I mean, honestly, we could still not qualify out of this group if Benfica beat Red Star, which they probably will, because reasons. Although, then again, they didn't beat them before, and then, well, anything could happen at home, although we would just have to avoid defeat against them, really, but then who knows at this point. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.
At the end of the days, it's gone.